All right. Another devlog, another Monday. Um, Holidays are over, and I have some progress here. So, trying to remember where I'd been prior to this. Um, I had been trying to get the system, just the in game engine sorted out, and at the moment, it's in a stable enough spot. I don't have fumbles, I don't have overtime, but the game can play, and it's okay. It's not great, and we'll get to that here. So, because I finally got to a place where I was at least happy enough with the in game, we can move finally into the point of me wanting to do this. And that is for the management coaching side of this game. So you'll be able to, there will be more customization, but this is just a beginning place to be. Name, age, hometown. You pick your team. Let's see, we'll pick. Doesn't matter. Tampa Bay's fine. And then you select your role. Offensive coordinator is the only one that I'm messing with right now. Then you continue, and this is how this how building up your coach is going to work. So, as an offensive coordinator, and this would work for a defensive coordinator as well. You have formation packs, and you have play cards. Your playbook construction is part of a leveling process to restrict your play calls and attempt to add some strategy to how you approach game planning for opponents and approach situations. So we can see some formations. They might not be super pretty. When you start off as an offensive coordinator, you get 3 formation packs. Currently, I don't have more than 3 even here. But before I move on from the formations, you'll see that the 2 that we've already selected over here have a 1 of 3. So the way the restriction's working is when you start the game as a coordinator, you'll get 3 formation packs, and you will get 3 play packs per formation that you acquire. You could select the same formation again. You just wouldn't get more plays for that formation. At a bronze tier, which is what this card would be, you can have 3 active plays in that formation at a bronze tier. When you get 3 of this formation from a pack, you upgrade it to silver, at which time you can have 4. Get 3 more, it goes to gold, which you can have 5. 3 more goes to platinum, which you can have 6. An active formation in your playbook can only have 6 plays. Each playbook can only have 5 formations. So you can have 5 formations, 30 total plays. And the idea is to make it so you have to be a little more selective about what goes in your playbook. It takes a little longer to establish your playbook and play style, call style. A lot more to go into that. Plays will eventually have experience on them, where the more you've practiced plays, your players will have boosts. If they aren't practiced, they'll have penalties. So you can't just throw in plays you haven't practiced. You can't just throw in plays. You have to kind of plan for things to change out. So that's the idea. Let me go ahead and go through and pick these plays for these playbooks so we can move on. Don't worry about the names of these plays. They are about as basic as they can be at the moment. You also notice that you're getting coins, and these are sold. So if you've already learned to play in a playbook, there's no reason to get it again. So you earn coins. There will be an in-game currency shop, which you can buy formation packs or buy play packs for formations. And that's a way you'll do this. There will also be other reasons to have money. I haven't really got to figuring that out yet, but yeah, that's what that is. So you open all your packs. You've completed this little tutorial. Down here it says build your playbook. What will happen is you'll go from here into the actual playbook where you can assign the plays you've just learned or just acquired. But for right now, I don't do that. We go into a team select, and we have the overalls for each team. These are based on the 2024 rosters from Madden. I just pulled that. I've said that before. I haven't gotten to the point where I've shifted into creating those. So I can use my user playbook here. I can also swap my team to away. This is the team we selected. So that is who we will be coaching. We'll keep him as the home team. Click play. Yeah, so this is the build version of the game, not the one that's running out of Unity. I've noticed some strange issues that only happen in the build version. There's a lot more stuttering when players run to the huddles. And I have the kick yards at 0. So there's some calculation errors still on some of these plays when it comes to stat tracking. But overall, the simulation, I feel, see that guy right there, he was losing his mind in the huddle. It happens. There's a little bit, as players run towards the defensive pursuit angle sometimes gets mixed up with the zone coverage shading, and they don't quickly just pursue onto the ball carrier. There's a delay, so if he's in zone like this and there's a run, sometimes they just kind of shade downfield a few yards, which needs fixed, but like I said, with the in-game system, it is to the point now where it can play the game without completely breaking, and for the most part, things feel fairly logical. Obviously, like the pursuit angles and things, and some of the stat tracking's a little wrong, but I had issues previously where like if there was a kick return for a touchdown, they just wouldn't kick the extra point, and then the wrong team would get the ball on the wrong side of the field, and they'd skip kickoffs. There were lots of weird bugs that happened, and those have all been ironed out. So we're now in a much more stable place, so I can start working on the actual management system, fleshing out the this card system for the playbooks. To do that, the likely thing is I'm going to have to make a lot more plays and formations because I don't have a whole lot of them at the moment. I haven't needed them. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time creating a bunch of plays and formations. I'd rather, work on features. But now that I have this deck building system, it is a little hard to think about getting into the playbook editing and construction if I don't have enough content there to test it in like a more like real life implementation than just saying, oh yeah, well I have 3 formations right now, so it's like, yeah, these formations work obviously, but what if I had 15? When I have the rest of these formations, like, is it a problem? Like, should the first 3 formations just be selected by the player, or should they remain random from a pack? Because I could see a world where a user just continuously resets the the coach creation until they end up with a few of the plays they want in the beginning. So maybe it's one of those, like, the tutorial formations are maybe set so they're not so random. I don't know. It's one of those things to think about because if you have a person that really likes to run the ball and then they start their coaching career and it just gives them empty formations and a bunch of formations that don't really work for the way they want to play. That'd be reset worthy probably. So maybe there will be like templates, or maybe the formation packs could be separated into types, so you could have like the heavy set formations and the spread formations and empty formations and things like that. And then that way you would select your play style, and then that could give you what type of formations you started with. I feel like that's probably a good way to look at it. But the next thing that I'd like to work on is getting that playbook creator actually in the game, and then getting roster depth chart into the menus so you can see your depth chart, you can adjust your depth chart and see your roster. And then formation subs will be pretty important because with only 5 formations at a time, I think formation subs could be good. I've even thought about using play subs as well, but I think that would be a little too much. That is kind of what you use for different formations for, usually, is to switch packages, but where you don't have that, you're not going to be able to have 3 different versions, 5 different versions of the same bunch formation, just moving the player around. I might think about doing play formations or play substitutions, but I don't have that idea yet. So that's what the roadmap looks like right now, is to get to there: depth chart, formation subs, rosters, and playbook construction. And once all of those are working together, I will finally, I'll probably move into trying to figure out a schedule. And once the schedule can be done, we will get the quick sim done. And then there will be a lot of tweaking and a lot of testing to make sure that the quick sim and the on-field sim are close. And I have a bunch of information about how this game's going to look and feel when we have um, when we have no NFL teams. I have a pretty interesting idea, I think, at least, on how to build the world of this game without being able to use the NFL teams and players. I think it's a pretty interesting idea. I'm pretty positive no one has done it. I haven't seen anybody do it this way. And I think it has a chance, at least, to make the world of non NFL teams at least interesting. Um, it also gets me away a little bit from having to simulate um, the stats in the game exactly like the NFL would, because I'm one person and I'm not that good. So, oh, there's a cool bug. Those guys are just hanging out. It's almost like I have extra people. That's strange. But either way, yeah, that's for the future. Maybe I could possibly just have a video. If anybody'd be interested, I could just have a video going over some of the ideas for the actual immersion of the world that I have, and kind of go over some of what's to come. But right now, I've just been watching, about a half of football here. I haven't really been paying attention, so I don't know if this has been a complete disaster on the video, or if it's looking all right. No one's going to tackle him. That's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. He's having a good game back here, it seems, after the 53-yard touchdown. It looked like he was doing all right before then. So somebody's got to carry this Colts team. They have Ellinger playing quarterback, and that was not fun. Not a fun time to be a Colt fan. So, all right. If you made it this far, leave a like. Follow me on Discord. You can kind of follow the thought process behind the game a lot more. And I'll be back in a week with more updates. Thanks.